upheld to a certain extent.
Southern Waters has an entry in the Red Cotillion Trophy, as does Musically. Musically is also in the Doncaster Sales race, and Rain Dance has entered in various Tattersalls races. Addison Clare, the gamble on that horse continues to move into 11-2 from 14-1, despite Brian Meehan just saying that he felt that the horse will improve for the run. He does like her, but he thought that she'd improve for the run. Way Too Hot is still the favourite. She's by King's Best. It's a sort of logical starting distance, isn't it? 7 furlongs for a dam who's related to sort of 9.
So I wonder whether the stable do put one by for this. Last one to go in will be Way Too Hot for stall number 1. Way Too Hot was the subject of pretty good reports, obviously prominent in the market. Coxyard have had a 2-year-old that's been well backed here earlier on in the season, who blew it at the start. See how they go. Just about all set, 7 furlongs the trip. Runners are poised, and they're off and racing. And from the stalls, Madame Sinclair was just about the slowest away. Strictly Mine was one of the fastest out, and in company with Cool Light leads the field up the centre of the racecourse. Waterloo Girl just ahead of the green jacket of Questing. Near side Musically just ahead of Rain Dance. Over on the far side, Way Too Hot settled in midfield. Sovereign Waters Ballye, after jumping slowly, the well-backed Madame Sinclair is last of all. But it's Strictly Mine who leads as they edge over, possibly helped by the breeze, over to the near side, although it appears Strictly Mine is coming this way. Questing comes next ahead of Cool Light in the orange cap. Behind these, towards the outside, is Waterloo Girl, also orange and black for Way Too Hot. Musically comes next as Strictly Mine receives reminders. They're all congregating now up the near side rail. Ballye might need a bit of luck. Madame Sinclair is beginning to improve amongst horses, but it's Strictly Mine who's made the fence. Questing coasting alongside. Way Too Hot trying to begin a challenge. Ballye still dressed up with nowhere to go. Red and white colours. Madame Sinclair's out towards the centre of the racecourse. Questing took over, but still Strictly Mine boxes on. It's getting a bit messy behind. Musically, Ballye is now chasing Way Too Hot, but it's Questing who took over from Way Too Hot. Ballye is pulled towards the centre of the racecourse, and Musically, but Questing, to be fair, when asked, has found a ready turn of foot and appears to have settled this. Way Too Hot in second, Ballye out in the clear in third, but Questing showing them a clean pair of heels and going to make a very impressive debut. Questing for William Buick and John Gosden wins well. Way Too Hot second, Ballye not really the run of the race in third, but grabs that ahead of Musically, and eventually they pull well clear of Rain Dance, who was next home from Madame Sinclair.
Newcomers all over this. First 4 clear, and quite a useful performance in the looks of things from Questing, who's the winner at 5-1 for William Buick and John Gosden. Second is Way Too Hot for Adam Kirby and Clive Cox. Ballye is the horse that didn't have the clearest of runs, held up towards the near side of Rich Hughes and Richard Hannon, and fourth is Musically for Hugh Bowman and Mick Channon. Those 4 are quite a distance clear of the rest of the field.
She might not be the Godolphin first choice, but they had a load of winners at Goodwood the other day, and the majority of them weren't the first choice, so it's not an exact science picking the right one, and in a sense, Frankie's had his hand forced, hasn't he, going for the one that's already got group race form in Ricasa.
Indeed. Another good point that John Gosden was making was that so many of these horses haven't encountered this good firm ground, and it's very fast, and some of them may back off it, I would have thought.
The others stand well. Villeneuve moves in, they're in the gate. Questing restless, and they're off. Slow to begin was Desert Gazelle, and also slow to lead the stalls was Ricasa. Right out the back of the field early in the Group 3 Saki Oso Sharp Stakes, and the early paces with Questing. Questing has moved on through the first furlong. Racing in second position is Nayara. Nayara is then being followed towards the outside by Mini Dress, the red cap. The big white blaze is Villeneuve, and against the rail is Cockney Dancer. Those are the first 5. They're covered by about 2.5 lengths. In 6, Emirates Art against the inside rail. In 7th is Desert Gazelle with the white cap racing freely. Alcindi is next, followed by Elusive Flame, and distanced at the back of the field is Ricasa under Frankie Dettori as they race now down towards the final 3 furlongs of the Saki Oso Sharp, and the leader is Will Buick on Questing now by a length and a tail. In second is Nayara, then towards the outside the Battalion of Godolphin begin to close. Desert Gazelle towards the outside of Mini Dress, then the white colours of Alcindi, who is picking up ground, and so too Elusive Flame, who follows through that rival, racing down into the dip, a furlong and a half to go. Questing still has the lead by a length to Nayara in second. In third, Desert Gazelle. Down the outside, Alcindi still comes on towards the far rail. Mini Dress, they've got 150 yards to go. Questing is digging deep, still leads by a length. Alcindi with one last late lunge. Alcindi in time. Alcindi wins for Tom Quealy. Questing game in defeat, followed home then by Nayara, and to the far side, Mini Dress.
the last late lunge. Wins it for Al Cindy. Clive Britton, the winning trainer, Tom Quealy, the winning rider, and they gathered in the brave Questing, who tried to make all against the far side rail and typically battled hard, but she was just caught in the line for William Buick and John Gosling. And the third was Nyara for Rich Hughes and Mick Shannon. Another.
Cameron McLaughlin won it last year with It's Tricky. Let's see if he can repeat here in 2012. It's the 96th running of the Grade 1 TVG Coaching Club American Oaks on America's Horse Racing Network, TVG.
And they're off. And immediately it's Yara, and Questing breaks well too. Yara aggressively ridden to get that lead. Out sprinting Questing as the field moves into the first turn. Funny Proposition has come out running in third. Disposable Pleasure rides the rails round the turn. She's now fourth. Then So Impressive in Lingerie will be the early trailer. And Yara throws down the gauntlet and opens up 5 on Questing. Had to run a quarter in 23-1 to do it. So Yara's running a very ambitious race. Not that far behind on that hot pace is Questing. A break of 5, and Funny Proposition runs in third. Disposable Pleasure fourth toward the inside, followed by So Impressive, still lingering at the back in Lingerie. So the field moves up the back stretch run. And there goes Questing now to make that lead. 4.5 furlongs out. Questing has moved early on to grab that lead. The half was up in 47 3/5 seconds. Questing continues to tangle here with Yara. The others getting closer, and there goes In Lingerie. In Lingerie powers up now, running in third. And then it's Funny Proposition, who's fourth on the outside as they round the far turn, 3/4 up in 1:12-1. Moving toward the top of the stretch, Questing and So Impressive now, and those two come to the top of the stretch together. In Lingerie is back in third as the field turns for home. Top of the stretch. And Questing leads the field coming down to the final furlong. So Impressive is fully extended second, but has now dropped 3 lengths behind. In Lingerie continues on in third as they come down to the finish, to the triumph of Questing, drifting out, but well clear to win the Coaching Club American Oaks. So Impressive was second. In Lingerie was third, and Disposable Pleasure was fourth. In the gate for this time-honored classic. Ready for the start of the 132nd Alabama Stakes. And they're off. So Impressive is looking for that lead today, and so too is Questing. And Questing goes on with it. So Impressive second to her inside. Just in behind now, it's Grace Hall, who pushes on through in between horses. On the outside in Lingerie, races in fourth. At the back of the pack at Sea Island down inside, her and caught wide indeed. Bumping there was Via Villaggio, along with Uptown Birdie, who took the worst of it. In the meantime, it's Questing on top. Questing to set the pace here as they race into the backstretch one. So Impressive down inside, Grace Hall alongside, and in Lingerie. So the Coaching Club winner leads the way. 3 Grade 1 winners right in behind. Grace Hall of the Delaware Oaks. So Impressive of the Mother Goose. In Lingerie of the Black-Eyed Susan. Those 4 in this all-star field in the Alabama. 5 or 6 lengths back now to Via Villaggio, then Sea Island. And at the back of the pack, Uptown Birdie. A grueling half-mile here for Questing. 46 seconds flat as they move for the half-mile pole. Questing continues to pound out these grueling fractions. Grace Hall still right there, running along in second. In Lingerie on the outside. So Impressive at the rail, rounding the far turn here at the old Spa. 3/4, 1:09-3. Can Questing keep up this brutal pace? She's still out there by 2. Here's In Lingerie moving to second. And So Impressive is back to third. And Grace Hall has tailed off into fourth. And then it's Via Villaggio as Questing turns for home. The mile up in 1:35 flat, and Questing still going strong. Opening up here, 5-length lead. Leaving In Lingerie, back running in second, So Impressive third, and they're coming down to the finish. A spectacular, exhilarating performance by Questing to win the Alabama by 8. In lingerie was second by another 8. Via Villaggio was third. Zoe Impressa fourth.
And they're off in the Grade 1 Cotillion Stakes. And Questing and My Miss Aurelia absolutely break together. And it looks like Nakatani's going to take My Miss Aurelia back and let Questing go. And Questing moving very comfortably into the first turn. And Questing has quickly established a length and a half lead. My Miss Aurelia is going to sit the stalking trip on the outside. And My Miss Aurelia will try to deal with Questing a little bit later on here. And it's 2 lengths back to Maiden Dixie, and Dixie Strike, the stretch running filly, is at the back. She'll go to the back stretch and races just about 5 lengths behind. 25 seconds flat for Questing, and that is absolutely walking for her. With 5.5 furlongs to go, she is just bounding along by 2. My Miss Aurelia continues to watch her from second. Maiden Dixie sitting third on the inside. Maiden Dixie has dropped just about 4 lengths back, and Dixie Strike, sensing that pace is slow, is beginning to move from the back of the pack. Ramon Dominguez quickly draws her alongside of Maiden Dixie as they pass the half-mile pole, matching fractions up front for a half mile at 50 seconds flat. It's Questing who goes to the far turn. 3 furlongs to go in the Cotillion Stakes, and now here comes My Miss Aurelia up after Questing. Questing off the rail, leading it by just over a length. My Miss Aurelia poised on her outside. She's running second, a length and a half. Dixie Strike going to try to run 3 wide up after the top 2. And Maiden Dixie is now dropped back last. Going to be a sprint to the finish. My Miss Aurelia poised to take a run at Questing as those two come off the turn together. And they are shoulder to shoulder as they come down to the gate pole. Questing digs in. My Miss Aurelia on the outside. A dramatic stretch run of the Cotillion. Questing on the inside is absolutely full out. My Miss Aurelia trying to stay unbeaten on the outside. They're head and head for the lead as they come to the wire. It's My Miss Aurelia. My Miss Aurelia stays unbeaten, nosing out Questing in the fight.
Tom, they're all in line, and we are ready for the start of this terrific race. And they're off in the Breeders' Cup Ladies Classic. And a good start for the Washington filly, class included. She came out fast. My Miss Aurelia, look at Questing. Questing's last. We thought she'd be in front. She's dead last early. Now Royal Delta's taking the lead. So what a change of events here. Royal Delta's on top. Include Me Out is second. And Love and Pride is next on the outside. My Miss Aurelia saves all the ground into the turn. 2 lengths off the lead. Awesome Feather is 3 wide. Then another length and a half back to class included. Second last early is Grace Hall. And it's 8 lengths back to Questing. She's nowhere early. 22-3 was the opening quarter mile for Royal Delta. As these fabulous fillies move up the backstretch, she's in front by 3/4 of a length. Love and Pride on the outside second. Then the California Girl, Include Me Out. The 2 undefeated fillies, My Miss Aurelia and Awesome Feather, are right together. And they're 2.5 lengths off the lead. Class Included is next by another 2. Then Grace Hall. And Grace Hall is next. Questing has been pulled up on the backstretch. Questing's not going to finish the race. She has pulled up. And this pace has been so fast. 45-4 for a half mile, and Royal Delta speeds around the far turn on the lead. She went 3/4 in 109-4. Royal Delta by a length and a half. On the outside, Love and Pride. My Miss Aurelia's down at the rail, right in contention and traveling well. Include Me Out comes up on the outside. Awesome Feather's not doing it today, and they're into the stretch, and it's Royal Delta digging down for all she has. Include Me Out's running a huge one. My Miss Aurelia's between those two in with a late shot. Can Royal Delta hold on? My Miss Aurelia's trying to get her late. Royal Delta, My Miss Aurelia, here is a champion again. Royal Delta has won the Breeders' Cup Ladies Classic over My Miss. Grace Hall was 4th in a final time of 1 minute 48 and 4/5 seconds. No one beats Royal Delta.